All right, welcome to the Sibling Rivalry MMA Podcast. This is our Halloween special and UFC 244 preview, and this is really embarrassing. We didn't plan this, but we both decided to dress up as Todd Duffy this year. Who would have thought?
I'm the champ now. I got a belt of beers and a big shot MMA title right here that pretty excited to defend this week for a third straight time.
We're going against the Bloody Good Show. These Michael Bisping motherfuckers over there.
Yeah, we're going against some British people. But listen here, you little British bitches.
All right.
It's about to be American Revolution Part 2, baby. Hendo vs. Bisping, UFC 100. We're fucking dropping H-bombs all over you boys. The belt is going to stay right here in America. Defending this belt for the third straight time. Starting to feel a little unbeatable. Not going to lie.
Wow.
But
right. Well,
we finally have a good card, so we can do some predictions for once.
That's the kind of podcast it's going to be, I guess. I was going to ask you, too. Nah, you know what? Let's just get into the fights. We're going to start on the prelims. Just one fight on the prelims. Because it got bumped down, and obviously, if you watch this podcast, you know we love Corey Anderson. So, Corey Anderson, Johnny Walker, huge fight for both of them.
I'm going with Corey Anderson. So Johnny Walker he has 3 fights in the UFC and he just knocks everyone out really fast. So we haven't really gotten to see the holes in his game. But on his regional circuit and stuff, he's been taken down and beaten on the ground before, which is Corey Anderson's specialty. We haven't seen Johnny Walker fight a crisp boxer with good wrestling, or at least we just haven't got to see it executed yet.
Yeah.
I think this is the fight that happens. I think Corey's gonna bring him into deep waters and drown him.
Yeah, I've got Corey too, obviously. I've got Corey by decision. I think as long as he, stays away from that early big shot, he's going to outlast him, take him down, and do what he wants to do to him. But we'll see. It's a really exciting fight. I know a lot of other people are picking Johnny Walker, but we'll see. What's really disappointing for me is I really wanted to bet on this fight because I had a feeling Corey would be a big underdog, but I can't find any odds on this, and the only one, I found some, but the only odds, it's pretty much even. So I am a little disappointed in that because I wanted to make a lot of money off Corey.
Yeah, when you're making a parlay for this, if you need a good old underdog to throw in there, Corey's gonna be a good one. So.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, we've talked about that fight a lot already, so we can move on. Kevin Lee and Gregor Gypsy
Gillespie.
I don't think you know what you're talking about. But they're the ones that bumped them down to the undercard. This is a pretty cool fight. I really like Gillespie. I like him a lot. He's really good.
Gregor Gillespie. 2 high-level wrestlers. Gregor, wrestling-wise, straight folk style or freestyle, just really wrestling credentials in this division. Gregor Gillespie has the best wrestling in this division. Obviously, Khabib's MMA grappling might be unmatched. But Gregor, I think if there's anybody in the division besides Tony that could eventually give Khabib a fight, it's this guy. I don't really see anybody taking him down, including Kevin Lee. Lee's a much bigger name, but I think if this turns into a grappling match at all, which it probably will, Gillespie probably has the edge in this. Kevin Lee's returning to lightweight, so his conditioning is going to be complete shit from the weight cut. Kind of like the Corey fight. I think Gillespie takes him into deep waters, drowns him, fucks him up for 15 minutes. Probably a decision, but I can see Kevin Lee quitting because he does that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Gregor's got the better wrestling, better conditioning. Lee has good stand-up, but for how long, it's going to be, try to get to those later rounds. And, yeah, I think Gregor takes it too. But you never know. Lee's good, but he's just showing a lot of holes and mistakes, and he's at a new camp now, so maybe he's got his conditioning better, but I don't know. Sometimes if you haven't fixed it by now, I don't know. Some people just can't get that part together. So
there's some people that they really just can't be in good shape.
Yeah,
I've seen it in wrestling and fighting. It's just somebody described it on Joe Rogan's podcast a long time ago, talking about Conor. Something with fast twitch muscles and stuff like that, where it's they just can't, their style, they just can't be in good shape, they're just going to get tired. And Kevin Lee has struggled with good grapplers. You know, he beats the strikers, but against Tony Ferguson, he struggled. Against Dos Anjos, who is a striker but has really good grappling and takes a lot of guys down, he struggled. You know, Al Iaquinta has really good wrestling defense. He struggled against him. The only big name that he's really beaten off the top of my head is Edson, a guy who can't fucking wrestle worth a shit. So I think this is just a really bad matchup for Kevin Lee, which sucks because he's so young and like he actually is good.
And it is a winnable fight for Kevin Lee. I mean, I could see him winning. I'm not picking him, but I could see him winning this fight. I don't know. It's a tough fight for both of them, I think.
Fuck him.
It's exciting though. I mean, that's gonna be a fun one to watch.
Team Gregor.
Yeah. All right.
Is this camera big enough to take in the biggest arm in Indianapolis, Indiana?
I don't know. Is it?
I don't know. Is it?
Is it? I think it is though. It seems like we got it back far enough. I think they can see it.
I think so.
All right. Everybody's favorite fighter, Derek Lewis, taking on a Bliglog.
I'm built like Ed Ruth.
Bliglog even Eves.
Blagoy Ivanov.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's just always fun to watch Derek Lewis fight and hear him talk. I hope he wins so we can hear him say some funny shit. I don't know. What do you think about this fight?
We saw Ivanov fight live in Chicago. He beat Tybura there. Really, I think it just depends what Derek Lewis comes out. Like, you really never know with him. You know, he's a guy that can come out and swing and knock your shit out like he did against Volkov and a ton of other guys. But he also has that style where he'll come out and lay a fucking egg like he did against Mark Hunt and Ngannou. So if he comes out and actually fights, I think he's going to win this one. Ivanov has lost a couple times in his career, so it's not like he's unbeatable. He's old as shit from what I can see. I haven't looked up his age, but he just looks like he's old as shit. Most heavyweights are. So he probably doesn't have a great chin. I would probably take Derek Lewis. I don't know. It's kind of hard to pick against him in a fight like this, against a guy that's not completely proven. Lewis doesn't really lose to bad guys, so...
I don't think he's bad, though. I don't know. It's one of those heavyweight fights where it's like, I mean, there's really no point in trying to break it down or make a decision. I mean...
You never know what's going to happen with these dudes.
Somebody's going to win. Maybe they'll draw. Who knows? Yeah. So, yeah. I don't know. Not a whole lot to say about that. Wonder Boy and Vicente Luque. Wonder Boy's coming off his knockout loss to Pettis, right? He hasn't fought since then. And then Luque's coming off a really close fight against Perry. I thought Perry won that fight. I don't know. This is a cool fight. I think it's going to be exciting. I don't know who I want to pick here.
I'm picking Wonder Boy. I just think he's way better.
I think he's better, too.
I think it's very close.
I think Wonder Boy is a lot better, but he just got knocked out by Pettis.
Pettis is pretty good.
I mean, sometimes.
I mean, he just got caught.
Yeah.
The dude's beaten. I mean, he beat the guy that's in the main event of this card.
Wonder Boy definitely should have won this fight because I think Luque lost to Mike Perry.
Yeah,
but that fight was amazing.
Yeah, but Mike Perry sucks.
I think he's actually getting better.
He's getting better, but
I don't think he sucks. I think he's getting a lot better. I guess I'll probably go with Wonder Boy unless Luque catches him, but yeah Wonder Boy's definitely better.
Wonder Boy via Wonder Balls. Wonder Balls.
What kind of little fucking cartoon candies are inside of those?
Via pretty boring technical outstriking from a distance the entire fight. Luca's going to try to get in his face and get emotional and make it a fucking slugfest, and Wonder Boy's not going to have it. Going to stand outside and kick him all over the place.
Yeah, as long as Wonder Boy controls the pace, he should be fine. So
far, I think like the first 3 fights on this main card are probably not going to be that exciting.
Really?
No.
Because I think Lee and Gregor's going to be exciting. I think Corey's going to be. I think that'll be a cool fight.
I think that's going to be boring.
It might be boring. We'll see. Depends on if everything goes our way, it'll be boring.
All my excitement relies on Derek Lewis throwing haymakers.
Yeah, and heavyweight fights.
I don't know, because he lied about his balls being hot.
I think he was lying about that.
He was afraid of Tekashi 6'9".
Thompson, that fight could be exciting or boring.
But this fight is going to be fucking sick.
I kind of forgot this was on here.
Kelvin versus Till.
Yeah. I think it's a bad matchup for Till. We've talked about this too.
Yeah.
You disagreed, right?
That it's a bad matchup for Till? No,
Yeah.
I think it's a good matchup for Till because it's a big name in the middleweight division. He's moving up, and it's a guy that he's still going to be bigger than. Like, Kelvin is not a big middleweight, so him moving up, like, he's going to be fighting just like he normally does at welterweight, a guy with the same stature, but he's not going to be tired from that weight cut. He probably has better technical striking, but obviously his chin's not as good. Kelvin has a chin of fucking steel. We saw that against Adesanya. Till can't take a hit too well. He got dropped pretty badly by Woodley. They got knocked unconscious by Masvidal. Masvidal obviously can knock people out, but he doesn't really have that one-hit knockout power in his hands that often, and we saw it against Till.
It's all on his knees.
Yeah. Just his last two fights, he's knocked people out cold, but before that, he didn't
He put all of his XP points in his knees before that fight.
So I don't know. I am going to take Kelvin. One, I think Kelvin's going to keep a better pace. I think he's going to get in Till's face where Till likes to fight from range, and I just think he has a better chin. So if it comes down to them both landing shots, I think Kelvin's going to be the one to get the finish.
Yeah, I think Kelvin's he's just way more well-rounded, more experienced. I mean, Till's good. I mean, he's had a couple of, I don't know. I mean, he's had some tough losses, but to really good guys. And even the Masvidal fight, he was doing really well before he got knocked out.
Yeah, kicked him got kicked in the dick and came back and won the round.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
sick.
So, I mean, Till's got a chance here, too. I just think Kelvin has more experience and he's more well-rounded. And I think as long as he doesn't get knocked out, I think he's going to win the fight.
So, speaking of this fight, Adesanya is not going to fight Paulo Costa or John Jones. Dana White said, a lot of people think he's going to fight Yoel. Why? You know, Yoel's 1-3 in his last 4. He's missed weight for his last 2 title fights. He lost his last 2 fights. Obviously, skill-wise, he's good enough to fight for a belt. Like, that's a super fun fight. But, like, at what point do you have to deserve a title fight? Like, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I know what you're saying, and this seems like one of those things where I would usually be like, yeah, obviously you lose, like, you're not getting a title fight, but, I mean, it's hard for me to say Yoel shouldn't get a title fight. The missing weight thing, that's really what pisses me off, where I think he shouldn't get it, but, I mean, he is the best guy in the division other than those two that are going to fight each other, because the Costa fight was close. I do think that he lost that fight, though. I think Yoel lost that fight. And every time he fought, it's like every fight that he's had, it's been like that close. I just think he's good enough. But, I mean, who wouldn't want to see Gastelum and Adesanya fight again, though? Because that fight was amazing.
What I want.
I mean, so here's what I think. I think if Gastelum wins this fight, he gets the title fight. But Till, why would he get a title fight after winning this?
I don't think Till should.
Yeah, no. So,
I think if Kelvin wins, he should, though.
So if Kelvin wins, he could get the title fight. But if Kelvin loses, then what do you do? Give it to Cannonier?
Cannonier could get it. He's 3-0 at
Give it
middleweight.
to him, though.
3-0 at middleweight, all knockouts, all ranked guys. Last one was against Hermanson, who's a fucking monster. Just beat the shit out of Jacare. So, like,
I really like Cannonier. I don't have a problem with him getting a title fight. I'm cool with that. I really like him a lot, and I think he's really underrated. And but I don't think they're gonna give it to him yet.
Yoel Romero's won 1 fight in 3 years. Like,
yeah, but I mean,
and he's active. He's just losing.
Yeah, but barely.
I don't care.
Like, to where you could say that he won those fights. Not all of them, but
he's only beat Rockhold, and everybody beats Rockhold.
I'm just saying, for what the situation is, if you all got the title fight, I wouldn't cry about it.
I'd be annoyed. I would rather them just wait. Just giving out title fights for no reason, like, just cause.
But don't you want to see how that fight would go, too? It's a really interesting fight.
It's a good fight, but it's just not deserved.
Usually I'm the one that says stuff like that, so I know what you mean, but, I mean, I don't know. We've got to look at the situation and the options, but Kelvin wins, I'd love to see that fight again. So yeah, main event. Biggest fight of the year is what everybody's saying. It's so cool, man. These two guys have been doing this forever. A lot of times they didn't get the respect they deserved, and now they're like the biggest names in the sport right now, and they're fighting each other. headlining this. They've convinced the UFC to make them their own belt, the baddest motherfucker in the game belt. Like, that's so crazy. I'm really excited about it.
Second only to the Big Shot MMA belt.
I mean, and I'll talk about what I think about the BMF belt in a minute, whatever, but, I mean, whatever. This fight's awesome. Jorge Masvidal and Nate Diaz, just two fucking thugs. Like, that just kept fighting and made their way this far. I mean, it's crazy. It's really cool to see. It's gonna be a really fun fight, no matter what. It's gonna be cool.
So, like, if you want to know how big of OGs these guys are, like, if you haven't been following the sport for super long, you still know these guys, but, like, you can find videos of Jorge Masvidal fighting people in backyards with Kimbo Slice there. Excuse me. And you can find videos of Nate Diaz, like, 18 years old, fighting grown men in, like, dojos with bleach blonde hair. Like, these guys have been doing this shit forever. There's videos of Nate Diaz having pro MMA fights outside, just, like, in shitty promotions outside in a cage in a fucking, like, yard. Like, these guys have been doing it forever. Nate Diaz is a fucking thug. This dude created his own belt out of thin air. And the UFC is like, all right, yeah, fucking take it. Like, and people are actually recognizing it and, like, getting excited about it. The Rock is going to put the belt around whoever wins this fight.
That's so ridiculous.
Like, they're going to sell out Madison Square Garden, the fucking mecca of sports, you know? Like, who's headlined the MSG cards? Daniel Cormier,
McGregor,
Georges St. Pierre,
right?
Conor McGregor are the three fighters who have two of the GOATs, and Conor the biggest name in MMA history.
Well, Diaz was. Oh no, that was
against
Diaz.
Eddie.
Yeah, you're right.
And, like, even on the Conor card, they had 3 title fights. On the GSP card, they had 3 title fights.
No title fights on this whole card.
No
and they're
title
calling it
fights.
the biggest card of the year. Yeah, that's why we don't need to make all these title fights all the time. This is the biggest fight of the year. Biggest card of the year is what everybody's saying. 500th event in UFC history. Nate Diaz, Jorge Masvidal.
But name another fighter that could do that. Like, who you could headline a pay-per-view with right now and sell.
That's not a title fight? Yeah, I don't know.
None. There's none.
I mean, I guess you could say Conor, but I think everybody's over him anyway.
Yeah, Conor.
But,
Conor would still sell the most.
But yeah, dude, this is awesome. I mean, who do you think's going to win this fight?
So, have we seen Jorge Masvidal fight for 5 rounds? Not in the UFC, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so.
He's never been a guy that I've thought had a conditioning problem, you know?
I haven't really seen...
I think that would be Nate's only shot at winning this fight, is if, you know, Jorge gets tired and Nate comes back and wins those late rounds, because it's a 5-rounder. Striking, obviously power, I'm going to give to Masvidal. Nate hits like a fucking pillow, but he hits you a million times with that pillow.
Yeah.
Power, I'd have to give to Masvidal. Grappling obviously goes to Diaz, but Masvidal has fucking good grappling.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, too. Masvidal's
Maya couldn't submit him. So, I mean, I doubt Nate does if Maya couldn't do it. And Nate's not going to take him down. I really think it's just going to be a fucking war. I don't think Masvidal is going to be able to knock Nate out, though. I don't know, man. I think I'm going to take Masvidal because I don't think Masvidal will get tired, and I just think he's a better fighter. But I could see this going either way.
I had kind of the same thoughts about... I don't really know if Masvidal has conditioning problems. I doubt that he does. But Diaz, obviously, we know that he has no issues with that. So that's kind of what I was thinking, too. If it goes in the later rounds, Diaz could get those possibly. But like I said, I don't really know how Masvidal does in those later rounds. They're both just really well-rounded. Like, I don't think Masvidal would get submitted, but it's possible, especially if he gets tired. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's just going to be a fun fight. It's going to be really exciting. I think it'll be close.
Yeah, it's going to be close.
I think I don't think anybody's going to dominate unless, I mean, you know, other than maybe getting a finish. And like you said, Jorge has the power, but Diaz, he never gets knocked out. He never gets finished.
Masvidal doesn't have crazy power. He did knock out Cowboy, but
I mean,
that his power's like come along recently. You know, like he's been fighting forever, and he wasn't knocking out guys like that. Well, he also
has moved up in weight.
True.
He was a lightweight before, so that could be part of it.
Yeah.
So maybe his power is better than we're giving him credit for too. But Diaz really doesn't get finished. So I don't know. I think this whole card's going to be awesome. Like we said, Masvidal, Diaz headlining this card. It's amazing. The BMF belt I think is pretty silly, but whatever.
Like it.
But yeah, I mean, these guys aren't the baddest motherfuckers in the game, though.
Why not?
If they were, then they'd be the champs.
You don't got to be the baddest dude to be the champ.
I
Colby
mean,
Covington becomes the champ. He's not the baddest dude. He can just lay on you the longest.
Whoever is the best is the baddest dude. These guys are just, they're the baddest motherfuckers in the game because they're punks. Like, that's it. But they both still get beat by Usman and Covington. And
I don't know, man. If you were at a bar and that whole welterweight division was in that bar, I don't think you'd be the most scared of a guy like Colby Covington. He ain't the baddest dude there.
If you lose to him, then he is. I'm just saying.
I disagree.
I'm just saying, in the Rock thing, I don't know. It's funny. It's just become such a shit show all because Diaz said so. So I don't know. It's all pretty cool, but yeah, it's gonna be. I got off work for this fight. I'm pretty excited about it.
I'm gonna be watching it on a bus, on a ride home.
Oh, you're not gonna be here? Oh, that sucks.
We wrestle this weekend. We'll be in Kentucky. I'll be watching it on a bus. On a computer.
I don't really know what I'm gonna do for the fights. I haven't really decided, but I mean, I'm gonna be watching. I know that. I thought you'd be home.
No, unfortunately not. I'm gonna be watching on a shitty, frickin' stream on my computer, probably on a bus if I can even get the Wi-Fi. If not, I'll have to watch it on my phone.
Yeah.
I'll find a way. I always find a way.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Well, I'll definitely figure it out. You might. So, Halloween weekend. What are you most scared of in the UFC?
What am I most scared of in the UFC?
I would say,
Seeing Conor McGregor win another belt.
yeah, that'd be bad. I was gonna say Ben Askren's spinning back fist, boo roasted.
Oh, Chael Sonnen spinning back fist, boom roasted.
Wrestlers stop. No, boo roasted.
Oh, boo roasted.
Yeah, it's Halloween.
Nice.
Yeah, wrestlers stop trying spinning back fists.
Just suck at it.
What else? I would be scared of this Khabib and Tony fight falling through again, because it sounds like that's gonna happen. If that falls through again, I quit.
Afraid of seeing Nate Diaz and his boys on the street.
Yeah, I wouldn't want that.
Yeah.
Well, man, unless they're not mad at me.
Afraid of seeing my grandpa at a bar with Conor McGregor.
Yeah, that's dangerous for everybody.
Everybody involved.
I'm scared of Francis Ngannou punching me.
Yeah. I don't know. A lot of things that I'm scared of.
I'll tell you one thing I'm not
Colby
scared
Covington
of.
is not one of them.
One thing I'm not scared of, the Bloody Good MMA show.
Hell
Trying
no.
to come get this belt. Never been less scared in my life.
I cut my promo a little early this episode, but I don't really got too much mean stuff to say to these guys. They seem pretty nice.
Yeah, you did call them British bitches, though. Right off the bat, we started off the show so aggressive.
That's right. I don't want them to have to wait the whole show to see it. They don't need to see my picks. They can get in and get out.
Yeah, you guys don't need to see this. We should go ahead and we can make our picks tonight, too, on the website. Man, I really wish that Corey was a bigger underdog. I want to make money on him.
Yeah, well, I think that about wraps it up.
I'm good.
We don't need another hour-long drunk episode. Maybe next week we'll probably have one more with Paul back. Oh, Paul was supposed to be here, and he fucking, priorities. He went to work
What an idiot.
instead of doing the podcast, so...
But, if you're watching this, go back and watch our last episode. It was hilarious.
Best one we've done, for sure.
You can skip through all us talking about Ben Askren and...
Maya.
Yeah, because we recorded that before that fight. But go through and watch the drinking game. That was a lot of fun. We'll probably do that again.
Yeah, send in some questions, too. We can do that in our drinking game. Shout out to Big Heads Media, posting us on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, all that shit. Shout out to Big Shot MMA. Go check them out. Get involved, man. I want to make this thing big, you know?
Yeah.
It's a great app. It's basically DraftKings for MMA, but even better. Competing head-to-head with people, other podcasters. If you're a podcaster, get in there. Try to tickle this nickel baby. Bet you can't.
Yeah, subscribe, like, download, all that. Check out Colts Corner if you're a Colts fan.
That's right.
It's a podcast that we like a lot.
Check out the Bloody Good show.
Yeah.
Bloody Good MMA show. See what they're picking for this weekend.
Oh, and we're like 6 followers short of 1,000 on Twitter, so get on that too.
Yeah.
We're going to give somebody a shout out.
Whoever's
but-
our 1,000 follower would get a shout out today, but we didn't freaking get there. We're like 4 away.
So thanks to all of those followers, and screw the people that didn't follow it.
Yeah, all those other billions of people on Twitter.
Yeah, everybody else.
Fuck y'all.
I love all 996. But, you guys, well, I guess if you're on Twitter, you're not listening anyway, but you guys should listen to this too. But all right, I'm done.
Yeah. So do all that, and we'll see you guys next week.